own classes here in real life, so I will be narrating over the top of myself going through a simple, gentle, beginner-friendly, and all levels friendly yoga flow. I hope that you enjoy, and let me know in the comments below any other types of yoga videos or any other videos that you would like to see from me. Sending you love. Find your way to a comfortable space and come into a child's pose. Your big toes come to touch behind you. Spread your knees as wide as feels comfortable. Stretch your palms out in front of you and let your forehead rest on the ground beneath you. This pose will start to open your hips and also to ground your energy down, bringing you into the present moment. So just start to take a few deep breaths in and out. Maybe you choose to take some organic movements by rocking your forehead side to side. You can spread your fingers, maybe walk them forward a bit. Start to walk your fingertips over towards the right side of your yoga mat or whatever space that you are practicing on. Just feel a nice side stretch for one breath. And slowly move your fingers back towards center. And then on your own time, your own pace, switch it out to the other side. Fingertips walk over towards the left. Feel a stretch throughout your side body and opening in the other direction. And just stay here until you feel balanced. Fingertips come back towards center, and the next place that we'll move into is Embryo Pose. So slowly push yourself up, bring your knees and your thighs to connect. Let your forehead relax as your shoulders relax. And rest your hands beside you near your feet. Your palms can be facing up or down, just depending on what feels nice in your space. And just feel an opening through the back of your heart. Your spine feels a nice stretch. This should feel nice and gentle, so if there's any pain, maybe you could place something underneath of your forehead or in between your thighs. Perhaps a block, or maybe even some books. Find your way into a neutral tabletop position. Your shoulders stack over your wrists, and your hips are over your knees. Inhale for cow pose. Let your belly drop as your heart opens, as your gaze goes up. On your exhale, contract your spine, chin towards your chest as you push the earth away. Flow through these two on your own breath. Inhale for cow, and exhale for cat. Maybe you choose to add in some organic, natural movements. You can stretch through your ankles, maybe roll your head around in a circle. And just try to close your eyes here. Let yourself flow with your intuition. Doesn't matter how you look, it only matters that it feels nice and your spine is being released and loosened. Start to find your way back to a neutral spine as you lift your left palm towards the sky. Exhale for thread the needle. Your arm goes underneath of your other arm, just like you're threading a needle. Try to keep your hips stacked above your knees. And you can walk your opposite palm forward or keep it planted where it was. Your right palm comes back towards your face as you lift your left arm back to the sky. And then come back to neutral tabletop. Inhale brings your other arm to the sky, and exhale to balance it out and thread the needle. Again, maybe your left palm crawls forward or can stay where it was. And the main goal of this pose is to open through your shoulders, as well as opening your heart space and stretching the muscles and the fascia in your arms. Your left palm comes back towards your face as you sweep your right arm to the sky. And exhale back to tabletop. Take a strong inhale, fill up your belly, your lungs, and exhale for downward facing dog. Make any little adjustments so that you're as comfortable as possible. Try to push through your palms as you send your chest back towards your thighs. Hinge forward to high plank, fire up your core. Maybe you drop to your knees. One solid breath. And then push back to downward dog yet again. It doesn't matter if your heels meet the floor or not. The goal here is just to feel a nice stretch. Gaze forward as you drop back to your knees and sit back onto your heels. We'll be doing some simple wrist stretches, so starting with just putting the backs of your hands against the earth. Lean your weight forward to feel a gentle stretch. Switch it to the other side so that your palms are on the earth whenever you feel ready. Keep your fingers nice and wide. And if you want to bring some organic movements in here, you can maybe bend through your elbows slightly, lean forward and back. And then switch it over so you're stretching your knuckles. Press your fingers down against the mat. Really make sure that you're getting a nice stretch throughout your whole hand. Release and bring your hands behind you, interlace them, and start to guide them over towards your right hip. Tuck your right elbow back so it's pointing behind you, and just take a few rotations with your head, give your neck a nice stretch. You feel an opening through your shoulders. Let your head fall over towards the left, away from your knuckles. And stay here for a few rounds of breath. When you feel ready, switch it to the other side. Hands are guided towards your left hip. Your left elbow points back as you do a few head rolls. And then finally settle into your space with your head tucked over towards the right. Feel the deep opening throughout your neck muscles, your shoulders, as well as your heart space. Start to release And just take a few organic movements with your arms, whatever feels nice to release. Then swing your feet so that they are out in front of you. We're going to go through a few seated cat-cows. So just like when we were in tabletop pose, you're going to inhale as you inflate your heart space forward, shoulders melt back and down. And exhale, compress everything back, curl your heart in. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. Close your eyes and once again let your intuition guide you. Let your breath lead the way. Switch out your legs from however you were seated halfway through and continue. This movement will further allow your spine to open up, to become lengthened and loose. And energetically speaking, this movement just helps to release energy. It helps to cleanse your space, your mind, and your thoughts. Find your way back to neutral and release your feet and your legs out in front of you. Take a few moments to get comfortable here in your space. Maybe rock side to side a little bit, let your tailbone relax towards the floor. We'll be coming into a seated forward fold. So guide your hands up and then forward as you reach towards whatever is accessible. Maybe that's your ankles, your shins, or your toes. Let your knees have a slight bend. And continue to take deep, mindful breaths. Give your body and your muscles the oxygen that they need. And if you feel like you are starting to open up a little more, you're welcome to move deeper into this pose. Maybe you slowly let your head relax forward, slightly rounding into the spine to make this a bit more restorative instead of an active fold. The next place we move into is half butterfly. So slowly guide your way up away from your legs, separate them, and bring your left foot towards your right thigh. Slowly fold over your right leg. And just as before, let your body relax as you take deep, cleansing breaths in and out. If you find that this pose is a bit uncomfortable, you could bring books or yoga blocks underneath of your left knee, or maybe stack some blocks or books underneath of your forehead so that you have something to relax on top of. Start to rise slow and mindfully, and shake out both of your legs towards the center. Now we switch it out to the other side. Right foot in towards your left thigh, and let yourself fold over your left leg. This side might feel a little different from the other. That's completely okay. Each side of our body is going to feel different from day to day, so just be okay with where you're at without any judgment. And continue your deep, mindful breaths. Begin to peel yourself away from your legs. Take a moment as you shake them out in front of you, bringing some balance. And then we move into full butterfly pose. The soles of your feet connect. Maybe take some movements, settle in. Again, if you need blocks or books underneath of your knees for added support, you're always welcome to use props however you would like. But once you feel settled in this space, you have the choice to start folding forward. This is a very intense hip opener, so know that if you don't fold forward, that's completely okay. Some days I feel like folding forward, some days I don't. It just depends on the day, on the practice. And try to keep your breath as deep as possible here. Release any tension in your face. Slowly begin to rise. Stretch your legs long as you shake them out once more. And then we move into a twist. Your right leg crosses over your left as you bend your left leg back towards your hips. Use your left elbow as leverage to get a deeper twist on the outside of your right thigh. And I always love to throw in some extra wrist stretches by just rolling it in circles. Get out any little snap, crackle, pops. Take one more breath. And then slowly find your way back to center. Release your legs forward. Give them a little shake. And then we switch it out to the other side. Left leg crosses over your right, and then bend your right knee so that your foot is back towards your hips. Again, use your right elbow this time as leverage on the outside of your left thigh. Add in your extra wrist stretches if you would like. And really try to breathe into this twist. As you inhale, sit up a little taller, and your exhale releases you back a little more. Slowly find your way back to a neutral space. Extend your legs in front of you and find your way into tabletop pose. The next space that we'll move into is puppy pose. So from here, just start to walk your palms forward. Let your heart fall down towards the ground, and you can rest your forehead on a block, some books, or against the earth. Try to keep your hips stacked over your knees. And just feel a gentle opening throughout your shoulders, your upper back, and your chest. Start to walk your palms back underneath of your shoulders. Take an inhale and exhale for downward facing dog. Using small motions, slowly start to walk your feet up in between your palms. Standing forward fold. We're taking a ragdoll variation here by keeping the legs about hips width distance apart, a generous bend into the knees, and maybe you can grab opposite elbows and sway side to side.
Slowly lower yourself down towards the ground as you find your way into a lying down position. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. And then slowly let both of your knees drop over towards the right. Coming into an easy twist, your arms drop out to a T, or maybe you place them lightly on top of your stomach, whichever feels better. Your gaze can turn in the opposite direction from your legs. And if you feel like you need more support, you can bring blocks or books in between your thighs, your knees, or your feet. On an inhale, bring your knees back towards your chest, and then let them drape over to the opposite side. Your gaze turns in the opposite direction, and let your hands fall wherever they were before. This pose is especially great for balancing out your body, detoxifying your mind as well as your body and your blood. And it also helps to relax your nervous system and bring you into the present moment. Bring your knees back to center, then slowly extend your feet up towards the sky. Just going through some ankle stretches, nice and gentle. Let your intuition guide you as you just rotate your ankles in opposite directions, maybe the same. And then slowly moving into Happy Baby Pose. Separate your legs, your knees, and open through your hips. You can grab either behind your knees at your thighs, your ankles, or the outside edges of your feet. And just let yourself move however you'd like. Close your eyes and take some deep breaths. Slowly gather yourself in for a huge hug. Take an inhale. And exhale for final Shavasana, corpse pose. Relax every single muscle in your body as you enjoy and absorb all of the benefits of the practice that you just gave to yourself. Take a moment and send yourself gratitude, send yourself love, and then just focus on your breath.